it has gone 10 o'clock. So I'm thinking, Bill, might be a good time to make some introductions and get going.
Yep.
So just a little bit of housekeeping. Yeah, just a little bit of housekeeping. My name's Scott Fennell. I am account manager at Kinetics Group, Outsource IT. I know some of the people that are on the call. It's great to see some familiar names there and nice to see some new people there too. Everyone is muted. Thanks for joining. If you have any questions, please drop them into the chat and we'll do our best to answer those towards the end of the webinar. Today, we will be recording and we will present the recording on our website probably in a day or two. So if you do want to share the content with someone or revisit it, feel free to do that and have a look at it. Yes, and today I'm joined by Bill, our CTO, and Ben, Digital Enablement, a practice lead for Digital Enablement. So welcome to you both.
Thank you, Scott.
Morning.
All right. So Ben, if we can move into the next slide here. But the premise behind today's webinar is that most of us are using Microsoft Business Premium for our 365, and there's an awful lot of features available in it that change all the time, and a lot of people are just sitting there going, oh, I'm just using Word and I'm using Excel. They're not aware of the other things that they could be doing with the product, perhaps even actually using products that are included in it, that you might be purchasing something where you could just be using the product itself. So I'm not an expert on it. We've got Ben who is. I'm much more of just a consumer of it, and I'm more interested in the security side. And the security part of it does change all the time. We're not going to focus on security this month because we do a lot of stuff on security. This is about making use of something you're already purchasing currently. If we can go to the next slide, I will just give you a quick update on a couple of interesting security enhancements that have been added. So the first one is called Global Secure Access. This is now included in your business premium. It does need to be activated. Like a number of the security features, there's other things that have to happen. Your device needs to be joined to Azure, Intune running on it. Basically what it means is if you're a laptop user, as you leave the office and you move around, if all your data to and from Microsoft 365 is routed directly off to the closest Microsoft gateway, in a bit like a VPN to 365. So therefore, if I'm getting off of a plane in I don't know, Hong Kong, and I open up my laptop and I go to check my email, without me doing anything, that is creating a tunnel into the Microsoft 365. It's finding the nearest Microsoft gateway in Hong Kong, getting off of the public network and routing all the way back through Microsoft's private network into my 365, my Azure. So it's a whole nother level of security for your communications that is just simply taking place so long as it is configured and installed. The other feature that's been added, once again, lovely, sexy name from Microsoft, token protection. It's actually quite important, once again, with the configuration, etc. What it means is, so when you log into something, so I'm logging into my 365, you do your authentication. You don't get bugged for authentication again every minute whenever you try to do anything, because your computer and Microsoft have agreed that you're trusted, and it's created a little token that is held on your computer, and Microsoft just checks that all the time, says, yeah, you're okay until the timeout of a day or whatever comes along. This adds an extra level of protection where the token is now not just living on your device, but Microsoft knows that particular device and that token, they belong together. Because one classic hack is you can actually steal that token and now it can pretend to be you somewhere else. So token protection nails it right into the device. It can't be stolen. right? If you're particularly interested in security, I was going to say this at the end, but I'll mention it now. Our next webinar is going to be on passkeys, which you might find you're being prompted for a lot. But what we'll do now is I'm going to pass this on to Ben. Just before we do, I'll say that at the end here, because we are going to be talking about a lot of features in Microsoft Business Premium. And if you are looking at business, comparing the different Microsoft plans, if we have time at the end, Scott has a wonderful tool that he may have time to demonstrate that helps you compare what's available in, say, Business Standard or E3. And it's kept right up to date by Microsoft employees. Very, very useful graphical tool. Okay, Ben.
Okay. Thanks, Bill. Okay, so what we're going to start off with is a bit around the AI tool that's actually available. The main one, it's called Copilot. For pretty much most of us, we're already using AI, not only in our work, but also in our personal lives as well. No, we're using it to draft things, review, summarize, explore ideas, and save time on repetitive tasks. Okay, now the challenge is not whether people will use AI, it's whether they're going to actually use it safely and effectively. And that's where Copilot in Microsoft 365 Business Premium comes in. It's covered by Microsoft's enterprise data protection. Your prompts and your responses remain within the Microsoft 365 service boundary. Organizational data is not used to train the AI models, and your existing security and compliance controls continue to apply. Now, there's a reason why it's potentially underutilized, and that's uncertainty around that security and privacy. The other thing is people are using shadow AI tools. They might prefer to use ChatGPT or Google Gemini, but take care with what's happening with your data with those. If you are, so we'd recommend a lot of caution with those tools if you're not sure what's happening with your data with those. Okay, but also there's concerns around accuracy, governance, and quite often, us as the users, we lack clear guidance around responsible use and how we should use the tool and how we can get the best out of it. So a few things we're missing out on by not actually using Copilot. Okay, faster drafting, faster reviewing, faster content creation. And it's got really good. So if you haven't checked it out in a while, or you need some guidance on that, reach out to us and we can help you with that. Okay, can help you research things quickly, gather information quickly as well, and lots of time savings on repetitive work. And I mentioned it already, it's a lot safer than using those alternative, a safer alternative to using the public AI tools.
But Ben, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Because I know that on any computer I log on to now, if I've got Edge installed, it's got a Copilot icon. How will I know if I'm using the secure Copilot or I'm using the public one?
Okay, well, let's just bring it up on screen and we can run over that. So just to show you here, I've just got my navigation panel closed up a bit, but I'll just show you if I choose my new chat option there, I've got my wee little enterprise data protection icon up there. There's even a link so you can go and check it, just to show you as well, because sometimes people aren't going the method I went to via the dots and Copilot. They're simply clicking on the chat icon if they are in Edge. But just to show you as well with that, as long as you have signed in with your Microsoft 365 credentials, you are using the work version of that. It may even ask me to go and sign in by the looks of things there. But again, I will see the wee shield, even though it's on that smaller panel there. So you can always check and look out for that wee little shield. You'll know you're in the right place. Most people by default are likely to be signed in with their work account, but doesn't always happen. So do take care with that. Okay, so today is a bit about some of the new features as well. So it isn't a complete, a training session as such. So I'd just like to point out with the version of Copilot that we now have, the UI has started to change. They're rolling out a new UI, so it does look a little bit different. You can switch back to the old one as well if you wish to. Like I say, if you haven't used it in a while, I'd suggest you go in and there's a pretty cool option with there. I'm just going to go and switch over to my other browser. If you come into the dots, you'll actually find you've got your chat settings in there. It was just called settings before, but you'll actually find there are options now to connect to different sources that may be available to you as well. So notice a whole range of different things that are not just Microsoft things that I can potentially connect to, that may be other work tools that you have available to you. So that's a wee bit around Copilot. If you're not using it, I seriously suggest you check it out. Not only is it available there from your browser, it's actually available within your documents as well. And it now allows you to actually edit documents, Excels, PowerPoints directly. Again, I'll just switch over to a document just to point that out to you. If I bring up the actual Copilot panel there, okay, just asking me to sign in. So if you haven't signed in, it will always do that. But what it now has is an option once it settles down. It's going to embarrass me on the live demo. There we go. So you'll see you can actually allow editing or chat. Once more, again, I'm seeing that wee little shield there. So if you need to change a document, refine it, etc., simply go in and tell it what you want to do. That could be as simple as asking it to change the color of the headings, or it could be to, convert selected text into a table or put it into a bulleted list, etc. as well. And you can go way, way beyond that too. Okay, so there's a whole range of applications that are available to us through a business premium. Now, these are some of the really, I call them cool applications that you can utilize. Now, a quick overview of them, and then I'll jump in and just show you a bit more about how they look. But Planner, as it suggests, is for actually planning things. So if you want to manage a project, it's maybe not a sort of Microsoft project level of managing projects, but if you want to manage tasks, stages within a project, etc., you can certainly do that within Planner. It allows you to not only record all those tasks, the due dates, etc., and any subsets of that task, checklists, etc. You can add those in. It also allows you to assign them, get progress updates as well, view stuff on a calendar, view them on a board as well. So we'll have a look at that in a moment. Another thing is lists. Okay, some people might know them from using SharePoint. Okay, but they can be accessed directly from Business Premium as well. So you can actually have lists that are personal to you at work, as well as ones that work across teams. Okay, Microsoft Forms. Okay, a great way of actually doing things like surveys, gathering information. They can be used internally and externally as well. So if you're looking to get feedback from clients, you can do. We've actually helped out a couple of clients to assist with their onboarding of their clients. They send out the form, get the information that they need. They actually take that and use a bit of automation in 365 to put it into a list to then track, monitor, do follow-ups on. There's also a feature called bookings. So if you're looking to have a client-facing customer booking service, this is what's available to you. So it means you can present it on a web page, and your clients, potential clients, if they need to book time services with you, they can simply do that via bookings as the bookings tool. Again, you'd get notifications as people book as well. Then we've got something called Loop, really underused. It's a tool for you create workspaces. Again, I'll show you an example in a minute. And those workspaces really take on value when you share them with colleagues. So it's a particularly good tool for actually working alongside Planner as you manage projects and the information that comes with that. Make it easy to get to documents, create key milestone lists as well, all these different bits. Again, I'll show you an example in a moment of how that actually works. And then we've got an option called Clipchamp. Most people haven't heard of this, but basically it's a tool for creating and editing videos, and that includes recording what's going on your screen. So you can actually use it to develop training materials, capture issues as well as producing videos. Again, we'll take a look at it in a moment too. And so I'm just going to switch over to my browser. Let's have a look at some of those tools in action. Okay, so first of all, here is Microsoft Planner. And simply what you do is to set up a plan. All you do is go to Planner, choose new plan, give it a name like I've done here. You can always use those as templates as well. So if there's something that you regularly do, it may be a sort of standard project framework and you want to use that again and again, you can save it down as a template. You don't have to recreate it. And you organize stuff with these things called buckets. Okay, so here are my buckets here. And the buckets can be moved around, put in order, and you simply add tasks in. So here's some tasks that I've completed, as you'll see, nice and easy to see that. If this one's been done, tick it off. Super easy to go and track stuff. I even got a wee ping coming into my ear. That's likely gone and sent an email as well. You can look at it via what they call board view. You can drag tasks from one board to another to change, what bucket they sit under. You can go and view stuff from your calendar as well in here. So it's very easy to keep on track with what's actually going on, what tasks are coming up on this project this week and the next week as well. You've got inbuilt reports as well that you can potentially go to. That's a bit of AI, but here's probably my favorite thing, this visualization here that simply comes part of it, where you can see what's going on with it. Just taking you back to the board view.
So
some people go,
Ben, would this replace things like Asana, Trello, and maybe Monday.com? Is that the sort of things that could use?
Some of those things, yeah, definitely. Those are some of those tools that people go out and purchase and spend money on, but there's already a version in here for us to actually use. Okay, just to point out, here's my favorite as well, because people go, hey, but I want to know what tasks I've got. You can organize the board screen by who it's assigned to, as well as the bucket, due date, priority status as well too. And notice you can share those with others as well, because you can simply just create a plan for yourself for a project you're working on. But of course, even better, you can share it with your colleagues and others to collaborate on. I would point out it's not a business premium feature, but if you do actually go and buy Copilot Premium on top, you can actually utilize that within your plans, and you get something called a planner agent that can help you as well. So more cool stuff you can do on top. Okay, so our next wee item is to do a quick overview of lists. So lists, they're also known as apps as well, just a great place to, again, a planner is more about tasks that you want to track. You can use lists to track tasks as well, by the way, but it could be any other sort of items you want to track, record, get a grip on, as it were. You can do that with here. So here's actually an example. It's not the real life example, but it was sort of proof of concept for a client. They were like, hey, we want to improve how we do our business cases. We never know, what's the status is, what's happening with them. We're chasing up people on them, etc., etc. So simply now got a list that they use, and you'll see it's basically columns and rows once you add items to it. And they've got items within here to see what approval stage it is at, and really keep a track of what's going on with those business cases. Just to show you, if you're thinking, well, how do you add one? Very straightforward. All you do is click on add new item, and basically you have a form to fill in. So you create a list, it creates the list for you, it creates the form for you, and it creates a whole range of other options as well. Now, you can go a bit beyond just recording the data. You'll start to see here I have got some statuses as well. So I'm just going to jump over to another list that I've actually got. This one here has got a bit more going on with it. So it's called a work tracker. Okay, and simply we track work in it, as the name suggests, but you'll see we've actually built a bit of smarts into this. There's an action option. Simply click on assign task to me, and what it will do is attempt to go and run that action. It might just be a bit slow because we're on a Teams call, and you can also start to build in workflows, etc. Too. Just to show you that, if I want this one to actually be submitted, looks like it's decided it's going to slow down on me and not do much, but I will have those automated workflows. All part of what we call the workflows area here, or the integrate area. So it's a mix of quick steps, approvals, rules, all sorts of stuff that you can do to actually make these far more usable than simply just recording the data. And lists can either be created as separate entries. There we go, it's finally caught up. You'll see there, now it's assigned to me after I clicked on that. It's just been a little bit slow there. Like I say, I can always mark it as complete. Boom, it's gone and done that. And now that I've marked it complete, I definitely want to get it approved. So I can simply send that off to who I need to approve it. I'll actually send it to myself in this instance. Okay, a bit more detail in there. Could actually be far more detailed. Right, I know that isn't my dog that's barking, so I don't know what's going on there. If anyone else can hear that. Now we'll see that's been requested, and whoever needs to approve it will get notified. I'll just go and do that because it's been sent to me. So I can either do it from here, or I can do it via the Teams alert. I'll get about it as well. Okay, so pretty handy. And if you're just wondering, well, what if I want to use this for tracking tasks like you're doing here, and I don't need to create a plan in Planner? Well, just to show you, within lists, you can still create board views as well. And you can also create calendar views too. So you can actually see, the information as you would like to. Notice you can even export it out to Excel. So you can do all sorts of analysis on it and create charts and all that sort of stuff too. So lots of cool stuff there within lists. Now, we did have bookings on our list, and it's not that I'm don't want to talk about bookings, but just to highlight, I'm not going to bring up an example of it. It's really useful to avoid the endless back and forth of finding times. It can just be used internally, but it's really about client facing as well, so that your clients can actually book meetings and times with you. To engage with your services or for your assistance.
Weird.
Okay, so just coming to the forms option. So this is probably pretty much underused. It's been around for ages, but it's got better and better. You can create forms that you want to show to the public and send out to them, or they can simply be internal. They can be open permanently to gather information, or you can run them so that they're only available for a month to gather feedback for that period of time. Just to show you, here's a form that I've created. I say I've created, I just actually used one of the templates. Notice there's lots of different templates on here to get you started. If you want though, you can build them yourself, a question at a time. You can build branching in. Okay, so we've certainly done that with client onboarding forms for our clients, where they've wanted to, get a certain answer and then progress to a different question, not the next one in the sequence. Just to show you here how that would look to anyone who's sent a link to this form. We've got that. And again, there's lots of nice built-in templates, but you can customize them as well. We'll see it's pretty straightforward. Someone goes through and fills out the form. In terms of what you get back, you can get notified when the responses come in. You can also actually automate what happens with the responses by using Microsoft's Power Automate automation tool. Just to show you, if I go into view responses, I'll start to see the responses that have actually come back. Again, it's just being a wee bit slow on this. And you also get an Excel spreadsheet as well. So you can go and again analyze it further. So all of that stuff, if you want to collect information, gather information, forms is something that you can actually use. Okay, so our penultimate one on this, and I say this is probably the most underused one for people, is a tool called Loop. So I'll bring up my Loop onto screen. Just bear with me. It must be on my other tab. Okay, looks like it's just refreshing and catching up. So just the thing about Loop, they call the things you create in Loop workspaces. You'll see there workspaces. What's quite cool about it is you can gather all sorts of information. So it isn't just about editing stuff on screen. You can create pages and you can add what all different sort of elements, task lists to it, tables, etc. So you'll see some of the bits I've got there, but you can also add in the associated documents that may relate to that piece of work / project. So you'll just see a bit on here. I've set one up to do a bit of project planning for a project I'm working on. We've got a bit about who the roles are, who's assigned to working on it, and then we've got a bit about the assignments. Now I can share this part of my Loop workspace. So Loop workspaces has what they call Loop components in it as well. So you can actually share the whole workspace, or you can just share individual components. So you'll see on here as I hover, it says see who's got access. Now, the nice thing about this is I can either update it here, or I can actually go and put that into an email and share that with people who I want to work on it. So I'll just show you, I'll just go and do a bit of an update here and put some details in there. Let's go and change the status on that so it's ready for review, etc. Again, not quite sure it's not caught up and suggested my name as I put that in, but there we go. You'll see it's starting to pick up the bends working on it. And just to show you, if I come back to here, you'll see, right, it's all updating here as well. So the Loop components can be circulated via email, via other means, via the workspace itself, and people can capture and record and update data that relate to it as well. Yeah, so I think Microsoft's definition of this is it's a collaboration workspace. Okay, I think they say that about almost all of their tools. So how many collaboration workspaces have they got? Okay, so our last wee one here, very quickly, because I'm aware we've just got a few minutes left, is what's called Clipchamp. So this is basically a video tool. In fact, what you'll find if you come into it, if anyone's ever shared any videos or you've created videos or you've got video files, you'll start to see those just listed in the all list here. You know, I was like, oh, right, Jason shared this in the Teams chat and it's showing up in here for me to go and look at. But simply what you can do here, you can upload videos, of course. You can, you know, use it as part of video storage, as it were. You can record your screens, etc. By the way, you can record screens via PowerPoint too, and you can create video projects as well. So basically, you can even get generative AI to help create your project. And just to show you, here's one that I actually started creating earlier, where I simply said I wanted to create a office induction to our building for new staff. You know, and I wanted it to cover off things like, you know, where the kitchen is, emergency procedures, etc., etc. Again, it's probably going to hold out on me and be a bit slow, but it went away and it drafted a wee video and it drafted a timeline as well. So,
can I ask a question? These you're running these through your web browser. They're also available as applications that you can install on your desktop?
Yeah, some of them do. So Copilot, you can always have, there's the Copilot 365 app. Make sure you use the Copilot 365 one, because there is also a free Copilot one that would be the non-work account. For Clipchamp, if you do want to do any edits, there is a tool that you can download to edit. That's what I've used before. I must admit, I've only used that with my non-work account, that one, rather than my work one as well. And similar with a lot of the other apps, they do tend to have sort of I call them standalone, but it means you're not having to go into the tabs. You can actually have it running and have an icon on your tab, as it were. Looks.
The clip, I was going to say the Clipchamp one. I've I find it so much more useful to generate a video to share with people than to try and write documentation. The more complex something is, the nicer the outcome if they can watch a video than have to read through a document.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And if you're trying to give instructions, those screen recordings, etc. as well. Now, it came up, it was all ready to go. I think because I've moved from one desk to another to set up for the webinar, it's just ended up running the prompt that I did all over again. But go and give it a try. You simply go in and tell it. It's all part of Business Premium. It's not reliant on you having a Copilot Premium license for this one. You just simply go in and tell it what you want to create, and it goes and does that for you. Okay, I'm conscious of the time, so I don't want to hold you up. I will hand back over to Bill and Scott, and we'll see if you've got any questions as well.
Yes,
Yeah, we don't have any questions. Thanks very much, Ben. Appreciate that. One thing I do like is if you are consolidating some of your apps, maybe reducing things like having Asana or Trello or some other apps, it means that you've got less logins. It does mean you've got the information contained more in the 365 environment, so there's more opportunity to integrate, or less integration complexity. It also means that you've got one identity to secure or less identities to secure. So I quite like that as a benefit as well by leveraging some of the tool sets within 365.
And certainly some of those have improved significantly since they first came out, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well,
I'm looking forward to, and I think we haven't covered it much in this, but you used a lot of the 365 tools recently, Ben, to help a client with automating document creation from their templates. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep. So that,
Yeah,
I mean,
so
we haven't covered that today, but that's a massive time saving for someone.
Because we're
Or actually,
right on time. So our next webinar next month is going to be on pass keys. So you may find yourself more and more commonly being prompted when you're logging into a site to create a pass key. So another level of security over passwords and MFA. So what are they? How do they get created? How do you store and manage them? Why do you need them? We know that a lot of people aren't familiar with them, and we recently had Microsoft staff to make it the default when you're setting up your MFA across, and they're rolling that out across tenancies. Our guys have jumped in at the back end and turned that campaign off because it was confusing people. But we will be covering that off next month, the third Wednesday of the month, and I don't have a link for it yet. The decision was just made this morning, but you'll find that under events on our website, and of course your account managers will be reaching out and letting you know it's happening, and it'll be included in our newsletter as well. No questions coming through?
So, no questions come through. A couple of compliments. We didn't really have time to go through the details for seeing all the features within 365. I've dropped that into the chat. So if you'd like to have a bit of a look at the details into the 365 features, feel free to have a look at that. It's supplied by Microsoft staff, but it's not a Microsoft website. Interesting.
Has Ben's video loaded?
Oh, shall we go and have let's go. All right, there we go. Okay, so what you'll see as well, I can replace the media, but it's built out the transcript and all that stuff. I won't actually go and play it, but yeah, like I say, I just did hey, it's a welcome to Auckland office tour for new starters, and we want to cover this, and this, you know, and it did the detail behind it. Obviously, all of this you can go in and rearrange stuff, etc., etc.
Yeah. What was you doing
Oh,
that?
well,
One things I have noticed is when you're doing a Teams webinar, if you're using web products, they do seem to run slower, and I think that might be, I'm not perhaps to do with graphics and video, but yeah, everything just seems to suddenly take longer.
It's also the demo gods. Thank you. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Bill, for your time and your expertise. look forward to seeing people next time and when we're out and about as well. So we'll drop the recording in the next day or two. And yeah, if you have any questions, reach out to us.